All right, everybody, greetings. Hello, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell, and welcome to the latest episode of Monday Musings, where I do a weekly vlog about all the things going on in my life, whether it's games, books, travel, shows, all the things. And today we are pre recording on August 22nd, 2021. First big announcement I have is that Cris and I finally got our second round vaccinations this past Tuesday. Had a bit of a rough midweek. The secondary effects were not nearly as bad for me the second time around. The first time around was really bad. I had 102 fever and was just out for like 3 days. I was still out for like 3 days this week, but mostly it was just tiredness and body soreness. Um, I did have a slight fever Tuesday night. Like we got the shot 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, and by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I started to feel bad, and by 9 I had a fever, but it wasn't horrible. I just had a really long Tuesday night, tossing and turning and body aches and fever and stuff. But that first time was 102 fever and my back hurt like you'd never believe. So all that's gone. Sunday, it's just some residual, kind of tiredness and stuff. But other than that, we're pretty much back to normal. So that's the first bit of big news. I'm happy to say that completely, we're as protected as we're going to be able to get. Um, and I'm happy to say that we are proudly supportive of the vaccine. If that offends you, well, there is an unfollow button. I would suggest you use it because I support science fully and completely. I get the flu shot every year. I got polio vaccine when I was a kid. Like vaccines are good, ladies and gentlemen. Um, so I'm really excited for that. I still don't think I want to travel, even though I can travel now. I feel safe traveling now. I wouldn't want to. The airports are a fucking mess. I don't know how many of you pay attention to this, and yeah, I don't think I would want to travel anywhere right now. But we're vaxxed, and here in about another week or so, week plus, we will be, um, as my one of my friends calls it, street legal. We'll be street legal in another week or so. So it'll be good. And Chris and I are planning on going out to a restaurant for the first time in. We haven't been out to a restaurant since the end of 2019. I can't even tell you when was the last time we went out because we went to the States for the holidays that Christmas, that December 2019, came back and immediately went into lockdown in March of 2020 and have been in lockdown. We just have been very careful since then. So there's a steakhouse we love, and we've already planned on as soon as we're ready to go, we're gonna go get some food out to celebrate. And we've done a lot of takeaway, a lot of ordering in the last 6 months. We didn't do anything for like a year and a half, or however long it was. Out of an abundance of caution, so we just cooked everything and only went out for the supermarket and stuff. But when the vaccines started going out and everything, beginning this year, we started ordering a little bit here and there. I still don't think it's been that much. We've probably ordered out. I think we've ordered Domino's twice, Chinese food once. We ordered Indian food the other day. And I know we've had Subway. We had Subway once because we went and had a picnic. But that was like a month ago. And then we've had Cinnabon like twice on the way home and just took it home. So there's been half a dozen occasions. But anyway, I'm ranting about that kind of stuff. So we're going to move on to the rest of the episode. Um, Probably the funniest thing for me this week was I finally got uh, Cris said she wanted to try. Are you listening, Cris, or are you in the kitchen? I think she's in the kitchen. She can't hear me, so I'll talk about her now. Um, she's been watching me play games for a long time, and she really loved watching me play The Witcher 3. She's watched me play it through twice, and she really loves watching me play Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've done twice, and Red Dead Online, which I've been playing pretty much every single day for like the last 2 months since I reinstalled it on the PS4. I do it every day for an hour, hour and a half. I've got some dailies that I do, usually every single morning. And she's watched it a lot and has mentioned, "Oh, I really like this game. I think this maybe is something that I would want to play." So I went ahead and created her a PlayStation account last week, and yesterday, which would have been Saturday for those of you, the 21st of August, I put it up on TikTok. Also, there's a video on my personal Facebook page. She played for like 2 hours, and she sucks at the controls, like really sucks. I can say that with love in my heart. She's horrible at the controls, and she can't shoot for shit. But it's she played for 2 hours and is learning. So I expect she'll probably only play once or twice a week. It'll be a slow process, but I have no doubt that she'll. Yeah, she loved her 2 hours the other day. She's like, I can't wait till I can learn how to do the controls because then I can run around and do the fishing and the crafting and the harvesting and hunting. And she's looking forward to doing all the natural, open world stuff. Run around and fish and hunt and gather plants and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool for me because she's never been a gamer. I don't know if she'll ever become a gamer, but if she enjoys that enough, and once it's like with any other game, once you learn how to control one game, you can control pretty much all the other games, even though there's always going to be a learning curve when you hop into a new game for the first time. So I may be documenting that process somehow. I don't know yet. I thought it would be fun to stream it even, and just not tell her that I'm streaming. just, just showcase the noob running around in Red Dead Online. But that was a big update for us this past week as well. Um, Today was I want to say day 10. So as I'm recording this, so the morning this comes out will be day 11, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it'll be day 11. So I'm 11 days into my 30-day Twitch challenge, which is, I have previously, the only times I've ever streamed before, I did try Twitch a couple years ago, maybe even last year. I know I tried it a little bit last year to stream a Star Wars Republic, but I've never really streamed. Like I never felt compelled to stream. So when I stream, it is a once a week, maybe a few days in a week here and there. Um, I originally tried Twitch out and didn't like it because I was getting so much spam in the comments, and I didn't have time to try to moderate on top of playing the games that I want to play. And also, you know, I don't, excuse me, I don't care to play like the big games that are going to get you famous, or I don't care to be obnoxious or to do the things that make you famous. You know, I just like to play games, and that's the thing. I play games every day, and I have done so since I was a young adult. You know, and away from the parents who restricted my game time. Um, they've always been a part of my life, and I've been asked a lot of times, why don't you stream if you play every day? And it's like, because I don't necessarily want to have to sit here and chit and chat, because I really like to immerse myself in the game. And sometimes when I immerse myself, I'm in it. Like I don't want to talk. I just want to play, and that's not conducive to a good stream experience for most people. Um, but I also understand the value of the publicity you can get from streaming and getting not necessarily famous, but getting a name for yourself and getting a hardcore dedicated following. Because I've done that in other places, not necessarily streaming, but Chris and I have been influencers in the travel space up until we stopped in 2017. And so I'm familiar with what it takes to get there, and I'm familiar with the responsibilities and what it could do for your business, which is why there's a part of me that's like, I really should build up a streaming platform um, because of all the work that I'm doing in the video game industry and have been doing so for the past 7 years. And so it's an experiment right now, but if you do want to follow along, I am streaming on Twitch daily. But here's the thing: this is why it's so difficult for me because I haven't yet set a schedule, and I've been talking to Chris about it, and I might set a schedule. But right now, I literally stream when I wake up in the morning. I'm doing a bedhead and Red Dead and bedhead Red Dead stream. It's it whenever I wake up. Sometimes it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it's 6. Sometimes it's 7. Whenever I wake up, I literally come in, turn the stream on, get the kettle going, come sit down. It's just me with bedhead and not woken up and bedhead, bedbeard, and Red Dead Online. Um, and then I've been doing a little bit of Final Fantasy 14 as I work my way through that because I'm a newbie to that game and everything else. So I'm 11 days into that. More than likely, I will continue to experiment with this. I have nothing else. Here's the thing. The reality is that I have nothing else going. I mean, we're not going anywhere. It's like I'm literally in the house all day, every day, other than when we go to the park to run. And I haven't been running for the past few weeks because of the broken nose that I suffered at the beginning of August, which, by the way, this might be the first episode I've recorded the past couple weeks that I don't have nose tape on. It's still quite sensitive, um, but it doesn't really hurt anymore. So that's the big thing. Um, Definitely, um, a little bit of my breathing has been impacted a little bit with the nose, and I'm going to go back to the doctor in September. Um, Once we're street legal from the vaccine, I'm going to go in and get my nose looked at again, see if I can't get to see another specialist and outside of the trauma unit and just see, hey, it's been a month and a half or whatever, it's been 6 weeks. Let's take a look at this now and see, since the swelling's gone down, like what are my options? Do I want to do anything about it or not? Because it doesn't really impact me in my day-to-day life. It's just I'm a little stuffy. It feels like I'm a little stuffy. Um, and that doesn't impact me around here, but I did try sprints this past week, and I noticed that it was a a lot more difficult to breathe, and I was breathing a lot more through my mouth than I normally would. Um, so I probably need to have it looked at, and they may recommend a septoplasty. I hope not. Um, we'll see, but I think I've had the tape off. Um, I still had the tape on when I went Tuesday for my vaccine shot. I think I took the tape off Wednesday. Yeah, because I had a meeting Wednesday. No, I didn't. I had a meeting on Tuesday. So I think took the tape off Tuesday afternoon, and I haven't had the tape on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And today's Sunday, so I've had the tape off for about 5 days. We'll see. Um, anyway, follow along on Twitch if you want to as well. And I may establish a schedule at some point. I've been loath to do that because then it takes my hobby, which is playing video games, and turns it into a responsibility. And I'm afraid of doing that because I don't want to turn video games into a chore. Um, and because anything you do, even my content creation, like I don't do, you know, overview videos every week. I do my Project Dramond stuff every week, and I'm very diligent about it. And I've had times when I didn't want to do it, and I've still done it because it's a job to me. Project Dramond is a job for myself, my brother, and Cris. It's a startup company. It's a job. It's no different than working for someone else, and so you have to treat it like such. And the moment you start doing that, even though you're having fun on the project, there are going to be times when you don't want to do something. And when it's a pre-recorded video that you could just, it comes out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are when those videos come out. Um, the overview videos. It's very easy to say on a Sunday afternoon, like, well, I don't want to do it today. And you know that you've got tomorrow, which is Monday, to get a video ready for Tuesday. You know what I mean? It's like you have time, but if you're doing something live and you've committed to a live stream, you have to be there whether you feel like it or not, unless you just really feel like crap and then you cancel, which can affect your streaming long term. So I don't know. I'm looking at schedules right now, figuring out when I would want to do it, when is the best time. I still don't want to play games. I don't want to play Warzone. I don't want to play Warcraft. I want to play RPGs and stuff, and those aren't the things that are going to get you big followers. So it's just like, I don't know. We'll see. But I have said I do plan on streaming all of Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward because I'm new to it. I would like to stream all of that on Twitch, but I don't know what the schedule for that would look like. Like 7 to 10 every night. I mean, that's doable for me because 7 to 10, literally, I'm usually sitting here, and that's if I'm getting sleepy about 8:39, that's usually the time when I'm like doing TikTok and watching TikToks and just relaxing and reading books and having my me time is 7 to 10. So I could switch stuff around and do 7 to 10 every night. I could totally. I'm here. all night, every night. It's not like I'm going to. I don't have a job that I have to, get up and be at 5 o'clock in the morning because my day job is based on, my goals for the week or the month, not based on hours. Um, so it's not like I have this schedule where I have to commute. I'm just hesitant to take on a third job because I already have two jobs, my day job and Project Dramond. So we'll see. In the meantime, if you do want to just, even if you just want to watch the videos that I've done every morning, you can go find my Twitch channel. Anyway, um, let's do another gaming thing real quick, and then we'll get into some movies that I watched. So I just played, it was a freebie from Epic Game Launcher called Rebel Galaxy. It's not, I'm gonna do a review for this game this week. I think this week. At least that's the plan, unless something comes up. It was, it's interesting. It's just kind of like a fighter sim thing where you're only ever third person with your fighter, and you've got broadside weapons versus railguns. Um, the gameplay wasn't that fun. The storyline is okay, but I tell you what, the music is killer. It's like a mixture between Firefly, like that, Western style music, and then like a lot of the music they had in like Sons of Anarchy or the Mayans MC, like especially like Sons of Anarchy, like some of the I can't remember the name of the house band and Katie's band, but there was a lot of really good music in Sons of Anarchy, and so I got like that vibe. It was like a Firefly vibe from like the Firefly soundtrack, and then like Sons of Anarchy soundtrack. So the music alone was really really good. And visually, it looks good. It's an older game. I think they're working on a sequel right now, or maybe just launched a sequel. I haven't really intimately looked into the company, but it was a freebie, so I played it, and I've enjoyed it so far. So I'll be doing a review of that coming up. So stay tuned for that. Movie reviews. Chris and I watched two movies this week. The first was Blood Red Sky, which they give away way too much in the. Unfortunately, this is a Netflix film. Both of these are Netflix movies. Blood Red Sky, they give away too much in the trailers and in the description of the movie. I really feel like if they would have only vaguely, so yeah, because like the thumbnails they're using and everything, you know going in that this is a movie that has something to do with vampires. Like, I'm not spoiling anything by saying that. Just look at the movie trailers. Like, it's got this creepy looking girl, and it's like, but it's not what you expect at all. At least it's not what I expected going in. Like, this is not a horror movie at all. It's not a terror film. It's not. It's suspenseful. Um, and it is kind of like a monster movie, but it's like an origin story type movie. It's really good. That's all I gotta say about it. Is it's really good. Um, because it doesn't, and that's why I said they give away too much in the description and in the trailers and the teasers and the thumbnails and all the posters and everything else. Because if they wouldn't have told you anything about that movie, the way it starts off, it's like, oh, it's a boy traveling with his mom, and she has some sort of a sickness, and she's traveling from Europe to the United States to go see a doctor who's going to help her find a cure. And it's cancer. Okay, that's obvious. It's like, and then their flight gets hijacked, and it turns into like, oh crap, so now this is a hijack movie, and so they blend several things together. And I'm not spoiling too much by saying that, because again, this is all the stuff that's in the description of the film, and everything else. You got to watch it. It really, it's worth it, and it's like a 2 hour plus movie. It's a bit of a ride. Um, and there are a couple of moments that are a little slow in the film, but I mean, Chris and I sat there and it was like, this is a really good movie. Like, we really enjoyed it as an entertainment piece, as something where we just kind of sat down, and we didn't fully know what to expect, um, because of the way that, the movie poster and the trailers and everything. We knew somewhat that we were going to see some sort of monster stuff happening, but the way it unfolds is much less of a terror film than it is in other movies, and much more of just a really cool creature movie. So I would definitely recommend watching this. Not with your kids. Don't. It's not a kids movie. But yeah, if you like monster films, this is a good one. It's really really good. And the ending. Obviously, they could spin it off and do a sequel if they wanted to. I think they could find a way. But it's still the movie. The ending was very satisfying. Because at first we thought the ending we thought was gonna happen, which was really cool. The ending we thought was gonna happen didn't happen, so we were both sitting there going, "Oh, it's gonna be a sequel," and then it keeps going, and it's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So now we're actually okay. There is an end to this film, so that was good. The next movie I have, it's called Sweet Girl, with which is Jason Momoa and Isabella. I'm gonna look her name up because she is just freaking awesome. I knew her because I've seen her from Isabella Merced. Merced, I think is that her name. Um, so I knew her from I saw her in the recent live action Dora the Explorer movie. She plays the Dora the Explorer main character. This I got to rave for a minute because as much as I love Jason Momoa and we watch pretty much all his stuff, this Isabella Merced girl, she's only 20 years old, and this girl, she's done like a whole range of stuff now, and I'm just this girl is gonna be a powerhouse as an adult actor because of all the things she's done as a child actor, as a teenager, and now getting into her young adult life and her film career. She just everything I've seen her in, she knocks it out of the park. So Dora the Explorer, cute, fun little character, like that's a family movie. And then immediately after that, we saw her in the second Sicario film, which those movies are not family movies, and she played a very dark character in the second Sicario film, and goes throughout that film as one of the main characters. And then now seeing her in Sweet Girl, and she does something that's completely different, and now she's in an action-oriented role, and it was like, okay, this is cool. Um, how do I review this movie without spoiling it? Sweet Girl is it's kind of an action movie, but it's also like a drama. Because the movie, and I'm not giving anything away by saying this, the trailers all show this. It's a revenge film basically, where Jason Momoa is married to this woman. They have a daughter who's played by Isabella Merced's character. Um, who's played by Irma Buster. It's her character. It's not played by her character. That I said that wrong. Um, Jason Momoa and the character who plays his wife, the mom dies very early in the film, and she dies because of this creepy CEO guy who withholds or screws with the cancer medication, and that causes the woman to die. And so this movie becomes a revenge film about um, Jason Momoa's character getting revenge on um, the pharmaceutical company, more importantly, the man behind the pharmaceutical company who basically, in his mind, caused his wife to die. And the trailer shows that there's a lot more going on than that. There's some stuff going on behind the scenes because then hitmen get sent after him, and there's obviously some sort of a conspiracy cover up going on here with like pharmaceutical company. So very quickly, it's established it's a drama film, family drama, a little bit of revenge going on. The relationship with the father and daughter is very strong because they lost the mother, and it's all about that dynamic, and then the revenge aspect of the film, and then because of that, it starts to get into like action territory. I will say this though, like there is some the storytelling in this film is amazing. The acting on the part of Isabella Merced is just, again, I'm just blown away by everything this kid does. And I can't say she's a kid. I feel bad for saying that, but I'm 41. She's 20. In my mind, she's half my age. I mean, she's not a kid, but I would say that in a like this is a badass kid, like coming into young adulthood. I call lots of people kids, even though they're up to like 25. It's probably a bad habit. Um, does a really good job. Jason Momoa, of course, is awesome as always. There was a plot twist in this film that we did not see coming. And when it happened, I went, "Oh, this is," and Chris's was like, "No, it's this," and then she was right, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's even better than what I thought was going on." Um, it's there was a really cool. It's just a really cool movie. There's some really amazing stuff that happens. The storytelling, writing's good, acting's good. It's just a fun, I wouldn't call it a popcorn film, but I mean, it definitely is a fast-paced movie, and um, I think it was a great Netflix film. Just to something to sit down on the couch and waste a Saturday night with. So those are the two movies we watched this last week. One was monster movie. The other one was like typical kind of action drama stuff. Both very good. I would highly recommend those if you've got Netflix. Um, and it's Jason Momoa. You're never gonna go wrong with Jason Momoa in my mind. So get on it. All right, let's move on to Project Dramond stuff. Um, First and foremost, we are actively looking for a character artist. So if you are a character artist or you know someone who is a character artist who wants to do 2D artwork for our tabletop game and or more specifically, our our tabletop source book and the first campaign module, we'd love to talk to you. We need somebody to come in. So obviously, everything that Chris has been doing to this point is landscapes and vistas, mountains and stuff like that. As she is continuing to build her skills as an artist, she'll be continuing that. She doesn't feel comfortable with doing character art because she hasn't done enough of it, and we need somebody who's good at character art to come in and do, like um, we need all of the art for like the elves, half elves, dwarves, halflings, brownies, humans. Each one of those, each one of the races needs character art. We're going to need character art for the class sections. Um, so we need character art for those books. We're also going to need somebody, preferably the same artist who does the character art will be someone who does some adventure collages where we have characters in different um, types of adventure settings, 3 or 4 adventures facing off against a couple of goblins, fighting a dragon, exploring some mines. But we're looking for someone to do character art for the interiors as well as theoretically it'll be the same person who does the covers for the 2 books because we have, excuse me, the Project Dramond source book and then we have the campaign module, which is going to be the Escape from Parthana. Um, yeah, if you are a character artist or you know someone who is a character artist who is freelancing and looking for a new project, we are actively hiring. Um, we're in the process of just looking at people's resumes, everything else. We'll probably be doing that throughout the month of the idea here is that we'll look for somebody throughout the month of the rest of August into September, and then hopefully we'll find somebody by October because we'd like to get somebody hired by the 1st of October, first half of October, and have them working throughout October, November, December. Because again, we do want to try to have these books ready by the end of the year, um, first of next year by the latest, so that we're ready to go for the 2022 calendar year. But yeah, we expect there to be a few months of work for someone who wants to do some work. So let's go out there and find a cool character artist who wants to come on and do the character art for us. Other than that, we're getting ready to do our 4th tabletop session coming up. Last week's session was a little lackluster. My brother and I were both feeling under the water. I later heard Himbar, aka Liam, aka Himbar, said he was feeling under the weather as well. But Joey and I, he got his vaccine, his second round shot on Saturday. I got mine on Tuesday. We were both feeling like crap last Wednesday, so it was a little lackluster this past session. Um, and we had some technical difficulties that night too, which compounded the issue. But we're looking forward to get back to episode 4. That's coming up and that's gonna be this Wednesday. So that's been a lot of fun. I got the bulk of the prep done yesterday morning, Saturday morning. Um, Also, Chapter 5 is going to be coming out this week. I've been working on Chapter 5. I'm actually, after I finish this, Cris is cooking right now. I'm going to go eat. And then after I eat, that's dinner because it's like it's late lunch. It's 3 o'clock right now. She's working on Chapter 5 art. I wrote a scene on Friday, which is actually, I thought it was going to be for chapter 5, and I was like, no, I need to move that later on. So then I did some outlining readjustments and wrote a new scene yesterday morning, which is the first. This will be the first chapter. So the previous 4 chapters, I kind of split each chapter up. It was like 1,000 words, and they're 2,000 word chapters. So I've been splitting things up. It's like one half of the chapter is about this, one half is the next, so that you get 2 scenes in each chapter. This chapter is all going to be, I think it's going to be one scene, because we're in the middle of something kind of impactful, and I can't. When I finished the session yesterday, I was like almost 1,100 words in, and it's not a cutoff point. So it's like I just need to finish this scene and see what it ends up with. So I'll probably just extend this scene to be the whole chapter. Um, and so that's I'm working on that later today while she works on the rest of the chapter 5 artwork. So this week coming up, we have session 4 on Wednesday night, and then on Thursday, the idea, as long as we don't have any interruptions, Thursday the chapter will be out on Patreon for chapter 5. That's what I've been working on in between feeling under the weather for COVID shot. Um, Excuse me. Sorry, I had a yawn there and my brain just went. Joey's been working on the adventure game update. We just did an update today. Well, I say today, I'm pre-recording. So the 22nd of August update, um, we did a bunch of screenshots showcasing the next interior section that's been worked on that he worked on. He's actually working on 2 interiors right now. He finished one. That's the update for this past Sunday. And then the second interior is going to be next week's update. And then there's only one more interior to done. So he's almost finished with interiors. I would say he's going to be done with interiors. And we have a meeting coming up on the 25th, but I would say he's going to be done with interiors by the end of this month. And then we're getting into, I've got to get the rest of the quests written. We have to flesh out any and all descriptions that we need. So the rest of, I'll probably be working on that as soon as I get wrapped up with chapter 5. This will be the sketch point for people. The month of September, I might not have any chapter work coming out on Patreon. I say might not because there's a couple of things that are going on. Because one, Cris and I have to finish the logo work. She's still been working on iterations of the logo, and it's now at a point where I need help with that and take it into Photoshop and do some stuff with it and work back and forth with her on the logo for the brand. On top of that, I have to get quests written for the demo, for the prototype. And if I'm writing quests, I really don't have enough time to be writing quests and doing chapter work on top of the prep that I'm doing for tabletop. So the month of September in particular, I might not do any chapter work. If I do, it'll be one chapter, and that's it for the month because I've got to get the logo finished. I've got to get the because we're trying to get well, we've got stuff we're trying to get done. I don't want to put any dates out there, but we're trying to have a bunch of stuff ready for the end of September, which requires me to do a lot of other stuff instead of writing on chapters. So there might only be one chapter that comes out in the month of September. On the plus side, I'm going to be doing a lot of writing on the point and click adventure game and getting all of the initial quests. We have some, which you've seen teased. We did that 20-minute overview the other day, which teased a little bit. There's quite a bit more that we haven't shown yet. And now that my brother's got the rest, we're getting the other 2 interiors done. That's 2 other NPCs, so I got to get the quest lines for them. And bearing in mind, this game does not have combat and we don't have RPG mechanics. This is an old school point and click adventure game. So it's all about dialogue and puzzles and running around and picking things up. We're probably going to have we got to get a couple puzzles in and things of that nature. So that's coming up this month. So September is going to be a busy month. And then as soon as we get all that wrapped up, the idea is that we'll have the demo ready to be pushed out. And before we do that, we got to have the logos finished because we don't want to push the demo out into the wild until we've got the websites out, published, all the social medias published for everybody to see with all the logos and the branding and everything else. So that's September work. So hopefully you can all hopefully everyone appreciates what we're doing. Is it ready? I gotta wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, because my food's ready. So that's all the work we gotta get done for September, which is all a lot of it's busy work and stuff. But we're trying to get everything ready with all the branding and the logos and all that other stuff so that we can get everything pushed out here this fall for everybody. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna go eat while my food's hot. Thanks so much to everybody for your support. If you want to know more, don't forget you can also subscribe over on Patreon. $3 a month gets you access to the serialized chapters of the book as they are published, with Chapter 5 coming out this upcoming week, including original artwork from Christina. The $8 a month tier gets you all of the book excerpts, concept art stuff, previews, etc., lore snippets, so on and so forth. And then the $15 a month gets you access to the all the tabletop stuff. So all the maps, which include the virtual tabletop, the VTT ready maps, as well as the 8K maps that I've created for all of the campaigns and the tabletop stuff. And also any work that we do on the tabletop gets put into those $15 tiers. We've got a lot of prep posts, so on and so forth. And then the $25 a month tier gets you into the adventure game stuff. And all of these include copies. So, like the $8 a month tier, you get a free copy of the book when it's finished. So, obviously, we're publishing things in a serialized format right now. But once it's all done, I then take all those serialized chapters, put them together, give it a few rewrites and some revisions, and get it published in a traditional book format. The $8 a month tier gets you a copy of that book. The $15 a month tier gets you a copy of the source book and the campaign module, I believe. But you have to look at the tiers, and there are some restrictions in there and minimums. And then the $25 a month tier gets you a free copy of the point and click adventure game. So there's lots of reasons to pick up a subscription over on Patreon. Or if you just want to support us, $3 a month is a great way to buy us a cup of coffee, even if you don't care about the books or anything like that. But hopefully you do. Thanks so much. Subscribe here. Check out the playlist. There's like 80 plus videos now, and we're continuing to steamroll ahead. All right, that food smells good. I'm going to go eat, folks. See you next week.